We have had some royal visits in the
Oh,
past.
yes.
Why don't you tell me when was the
Yeah.
first time you
They've
you, you
they've
met
been
a royalty?
they've been great. Go back when, John Mowat was president, and also then George Barron was president. There were 3 of us who used to get called up to drive dignitaries around, whether they be politicians from the UK, the Home Secretaries, or the Lieutenant Governor from Guernsey, or royalty. And I was one of those 3. And it was fantastic, because at the end of it, when John Mowat was president, we'd always go into his house. The dignitaries were always invited in for drinks. Well, so were we. We weren't chauffeurs. As we were driving around, we'd explain Alderney and all about the island itself. And so I've had drinks with the Queen Mother. I've had drinks with the Queen. The Queen Mother, amazing. I know we always knew she was small, but when you are standing beside her, she was small. There's no doubt about it. It was so. One lovely one was Princess Alexandra. When going up Victoria Street, it was during the summer, loads of people either side, and as I was driving up, she was sitting in the car, and as we all do here, we waved to each other and such. And she said, "This is most strange." She said, "Normally people are waving at me, but they're all waving at you." And I apologized. She said, "No, no, this is so different." Yes. So that was rather a good one. Another interesting one is the breakwater. When I've forgotten which the name of the Home Secretary at the time, when still the England, you might say, did look after and pay for our breakwater. John Mowat said to the 3 of us, "We're going to drive to the end of the breakwater," and we said, "You are joking," because it does tend to taper in a bit as you go to the end. So he said, "No, we're going to do it." So we said, "Okay, we want to practice it." So we did practice it. And when you're at the end of the breakwater doing a 3-point turn, it's really scary because you turn around to the right and you're facing out into Bray Bay. And I remember the first time I did it, I was scared, as so were the other 2. We all admitted it afterwards. But your foot on the clutch, it's
Oh
going
my
like this, and
lord!
you're thinking, "Oh my God." That really was scary. We did it though, and as we turned the car around, I had John Mowat and the Home Secretary with myself in it, and we got out of the car, and John said to me, "Andrew, can you walk back down with the Home Secretary? I'll drive your car back." So I thought, this is the wrong way round. You're president. You're meant to do this, really. And so, no. So John got into my car, drove it down the breakwater. I walked along with Home Secretary explaining about Alderney and such. And I thought, this is surreal. Yes, it
Wow.
was wonderful, though. So we've had some great times with royalty. It's something different. You could never plan for it. That the other one where I was demoted to car 2. I was going to be car 1 when the Queen came over. She was coming over by helicopter, landing on Bray Common, uh, on the lower road, and I was demoted, and was it why? And well, the colour of the car I had at that time was a green car. Well, unfortunately, the Queen was wearing green. She had a green dress on, and
Oh,
it would have
don't.
clashed.
Oh
Because she had a
no.
lighter green, my car was a darker green, she would have clashed, you're no longer car 1. So I missed
So you're
out on that.
demoted.
I was demoted, which did go down quite well because it made the following day's edition of the Times newspaper with a picture of my car on it, with "Nice car, shame about the colour," was the headline,
Oh my
about the
god.
Queen's visit to Alderney and the Channel Islands.
Wow. How
Yes.
did that get picked up? That's crazy.
Yes, and that wasn't from my father. I say he was home news editor of the Times. That was well after he'd retired. I don't, it got picked up and was passed through to them, and
Hey, right,
so
any publicity,
we
right?
made the front
Wow,
page.
that's amazing.